Hey everyone, it is Kate Weatherwise, your favorite weather girl, coming to you on December 9th. It is 7 p.m. Pacific time, and I'm going to get straight into it because it has been a really active weather pattern for the state of Washington over the past 2 or 3 days. And I just want to talk about that because of the activity and the continued rainfall, the continued flooding, the continued mudslides for Western Washington, especially the Spokane area. We are getting waves of rain, and we're about to start another wave of rain here in the next 8 p.m. hour. We'll start to see some rainfall here, and it'll be light overnight, about a quarter of an inch or so overnight tonight into Wednesday morning, and then the winds pick up. And we have a wind advisory for the area. The Spokane County side south is where you are going to see the highest winds. I would say from the Four Mound Prairie area of 9 Mile south, southeast, and then west. That's where the wind is going to be, and it's not going to be as strong as it was last night. We saw the winds picked up around 7 o'clock last night and last until well after midnight, Monday night into Tuesday, and then they subsided in the morning. Well, they're going to ramp back up again. So this time around, 10 to 15, gusting to 20 to 25, mostly. Once you get down into Sprague, Ritzville, a little bit further west, down into the Palouse, those areas, that's where you're going to see the highest winds. Of course, that's where the plains are. That's where there's less impedance from the mountains and the hills and all of those places. So that's where you're going to see the most wind. But Western Washington is really getting inundated with rain. And so that's where I want to go next. And we're going to take that over to, this is the satellite imagery from all the way out in the Pacific, and from the satellite imagery that I showed you a couple days ago. This Pineapple Express atmospheric river is still very active. It's not as long stretched out, but it's still very active, as you can see, and it's still pointed right at the Washington coast. It's still bringing in rain. It is raining currently in the Seattle area. They have, just in the past 24 hours, they've received, most areas in the central Puget Sound and South Sound have received between 1.5 and 3 inches of rain. That means all of the major rivers, even some of the minor rivers, and just regular street flooding is very prevalent over there right now. There have been several mudslides. They had to shut down I-90 around the North Bend area this morning due to a mudslide. So that is a very active weather pattern, and it's not going to end anytime soon. They may catch a break here for a couple days, but then it's going to ramp back up again next week. So this is what that still looks like. As I pointed out before, this is coming from the tropics, and this system up here is helping to keep this further south and keep it in place and keep it pointed at the state of Washington. So we're going to go into radar now. This is the radar for Seattle. Actually, this is Langley Hill out on the coast. You can see the rain coming in. We go up to Camano Island where this radar, the inland radar, is. You can see it's raining here, and this is the Portland radar, raining in the South Sound too. So it's raining all over the place. And then Spokane, as I mentioned previously, this is the rain that's coming in for all of us. This doesn't look like much on radar, but it's going to, some light rain is going to start falling around the 8 p.m. hour. So expect that to last overnight and be about a quarter of an inch in total. So next we're going to go to, this is the European model, which has been my favorite model so far for pointing out what the forecast is leaning towards. And this is that next system that is coming in this afternoon. Puget Sound region, wet. We stayed dry today. There was even like a smidgen of sun today. Temperature was in the upper 40s for most of us. And then here comes the rain, heavier rain over here in Western Washington. So you guys are going to continue with the rainfall and continue with just that flooding potential. So the rivers are not going to go down, I think, for a while. I don't have an exact time frame right now for how long it will take those rivers to subside, but as long as it continues to rain, and if you're getting an inch and a half of rain per day, an inch and a half to 3 inches of rain per day, then it's going to be bad for a while. And it's going to take a while to subside. So we go along in time, rain continues. And for us over here, we are looking at, like I said, a wind advisory starting at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's going to last until Thursday morning. I think the winds will start to subside by 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And they won't even be that strong if you are north of the river, north of Lake Spokane, or the Spokane River right there. If you're north of the river, then it starts to die out quickly. But south of the river, that's where you guys are going to see the wind. Now, our rain will last through a little bit through Wednesday morning. And then Thursday and Friday look to be on the dry side. But again, temperatures are going to be around 50 degrees or warmer for most of us, with lows in the low to mid 40s. So it's still warm. And that warmth is going to be with us for maybe until through Christmas and maybe the whole month of December. I'm not seeing any relaxation away from the warmth, that ridge in the west and that trough in the east. There is a little bit of an upcoming perhaps breakup, but not enough for it to either flip or for us to get some cold air invasion as well. So for now, we're dealing with the warmth in the west and the cold in the east. And it's pretty cold on the East Coast right now too. I talked to my family and it was like 20 degrees when I talked to them, and they're just not used to that. They're not used to those temperatures. It hasn't been that cold there in quite some time. So as we continue to move forward in time, you can see these red lines are pushing north. It means the continued warmth and just a little bit colder up to the north in Canada. And then it's, like I said, it stays dry for us on Thursday and Friday of this week. And it stays dry for Western Washington for a couple days, but then there'll be some showers around. And then the next system for them, the North Sound, sees some rain on Saturday, but the Central and South Sound is going to stay dry. And then the next system doesn't look like it's going to come through. Here's another system on Sunday morning that's going to come through, but it's not going to be that pungent, that punch of just constant rain. But the next system looks like it's going to come through with wind at the same time. This is a pretty good low that's coming in Monday morning. So that's almost a week away. You can't see it on the screen. There we go. There's a low right here with some wind attached to it. So that's forecasted way out. And I don't even, like I said, I don't like to talk about things that are that far out because they often change, but that's on the horizon. And then another inundation of rain. And another inundation of rain for us too. So next week for us looks to be equally as wet, if not wetter than this week has been for us. So I'll keep an eye on that. But as far as the winds are concerned, like I mentioned before, they will start to ramp up tomorrow morning. This is where we are here in the Spokane area. And as you can see, depicted by the pinks, and the purples are a little bit higher, and the pinks and the reds are a good dose of wind. Idaho, I don't see any real heavier winds unless you're on some of the peaks of the mountaintops. I don't see any big time winds for you guys, maybe in a Coeur d'Alene a little bit, but it's going to be spotty, like I said, up on those higher hills perhaps. And then it starts to subside around 5 o'clock on Thursday morning. So all day tomorrow, expect it to be breezy to gusty for the area. The further north you go into Stevens County, north of the lake, the winds will be calmer and be just sort of breezy. The further south you go, down into the Palouse, down to Medical Lake area, Ritzville, and heading west, that's the area that's going to see the most wind. So that is your forecast for tomorrow's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So Thursday and Friday for the Spokane area looks to be dry. Western Washington, you're going to get a little bit of a break, and then it's going to come right back into the rain, especially for the North Sound on Saturday. But you guys are just getting clobbered by rain right now, and it's inches of rain. So this is definitely a historic time This will be talked about for many years to come. And I'm actually headed over there later this week. And so I will be grabbing some footage of all of the goings on of the weather and such, and I will be uploading what I capture, and so we'll be able to see it firsthand outside of what people are telling me is happening over there, and looking seeing footage from other news sources and things like that. So all right, guys, that is it for now. Again, this is a wet time, and with off and on wind as well, and warm, so it kind of does not feel like December. But and as of right now, I don't think we're going to have a white Christmas for Eastern Washington. But that remains to actually, you guys in very northeastern Washington, you already have snow on the ground. You are no doubt going to have a white Christmas. So y'all are just reveling in that. From about central or southern Stevens County south, it's it's pretty dry. It's going to be pretty green, pretty no snow on the ground. All right, guys, that is it for now. I'll be back with some more updates as they become available. And then hopefully by Friday afternoon, I will have some video recordings updated and uploaded to my channel, talking about reporting for all of the rain and such that is falling in Western Washington. So, all right, that is it for now. And this is Kate Weatherwise saying bye.